There is a moment, a quiet, unseen moment, long before the world awakens, before the emails flood in, before the traffic surges, before the demands of the day roar to life. It is in this quiet, when the stars still cling to the night, that destinies are shaped. It is not at sunrise. It is not at noon. It is in the night before. Success belongs to those who prepare the night before. Because the truth is, you don't win your day when you open your eyes. You win it when you close them knowing you already decided what tomorrow would become. Tomorrow's victories are planted in tonight's decisions. And most people will never understand this. They live reactively. They wake up into chaos. They stumble into a battlefield without armor, without a plan, without a prayer. And then they wonder why life feels like survival. They wonder why dreams slip through their fingers like sand. But the builders, the ones you admire, the ones you quote, the ones whose lives echo through history, they understood. Edison, Lincoln, Carnegie, Mandela, Jobs. They knew that the next sunrise was already won or lost in how they prepared the night before. Preparation is not an act. It is a philosophy. It is a belief that tomorrow does not belong to luck, it belongs to the deliberate. And so the question, the real question, is this: what are you doing with your night? Are you numbing it with noise? Or fueling it with vision? Are you escaping from your life? Or designing it with your own hands? You see, the undisciplined fall asleep hoping. The disciplined fall asleep building. The average man spends his night in distraction. The extraordinary man spends his night in construction. And it does not require heroic hours. It does not require burnout. It requires something far rarer: clarity. It requires the courage to sit in the silence and ask yourself, what am I becoming? And is the life I say I want reflected in how I spend these sacred evening hours? Most people think success is forged in grand gestures. It's not. It's built in the small, invisible moments, the ones where no applause is given, no audience watches, only you and your choices. Because the night before is where you either strengthen your chains or sharpen your sword. You either reinforce your mediocrity or you prepare for your mastery. And here's the brutal, beautiful truth: how you end today will determine how you begin tomorrow. Those who drift into sleep, drift into life. Those who step into sleep with purpose, awaken with fire. So lay out your intentions. Map your priorities. Visualize the person you demand yourself to become. Because hope is not a strategy. Luck is not a plan. And randomness never leads to greatness. The great ones, they understood that the world does not reward the chaotic. The world rewards the prepared. Shift in tone, music becomes more rhythmic, intense. Walt Disney once said, "The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing." But even Walt, the dreamer of dreams, knew that his mornings were built upon his nights. Each animation, each castle, each dream carved out under the weight of midnight oil and ruthless preparation. And so the first step to an extraordinary life is a simple, non-negotiable law. Do not start your day until you have finished it on paper, in thought, in heart. The night before is your architect's table. It is where you sketch the cathedral of your future. It is where you whisper the promises that tomorrow will demand you to keep. And listen, you don't have to plan every minute. You don't have to know every step. You simply have to define the hill you will climb tomorrow. The hill, the battle, the breakthrough. Without that clarity, you will wake to noise, drift to distraction, and lose the day before your second cup of coffee. But when you prepare, when you define your hill, when you align your soul the night before, you don't wake up hoping to survive the day. You wake up commanding it. Most will never feel this power, because most are afraid of silence, afraid of confronting their reflection, afraid of realizing that the life they live is the life they tolerate, not the life they are destined for. But not you. You are here because you are ready. Ready to reclaim your evenings. ready to take the night back from mediocrity, ready to say, no more wasted time, no more wasted potential, no more pretending tomorrow will be different if I don't change tonight. Because the reality is simple. If you live like the average at night, you will wake like the average in the morning, and you will build an average life brick by brick, night by night. But if you dare to prepare like the successful, you will rise differently, think differently, act differently, and eventually, you will live differently. Success is not a mystery. It is not a riddle wrapped in fortune cookies and cliches. Success is preparation. It is doing tonight what others postpone to someday. It is designing your life, brick by careful brick, when no one is watching. Success belongs to the few. The few who are willing to live the night before as a sacred ritual. The few who understand that every evening holds the seeds of tomorrow's greatness. So, how will you spend tonight? Because the truth is, every night, a battle is fought. A battle between your lesser self and the self you were meant to become. And every night, you are casting a vote, a silent, invisible vote for who will wake up tomorrow, the distracted version of you, or the disciplined version. The world sees the results, but the world never sees the votes you cast in the quiet. It is easy to be ambitious when the sun is shining. It is easy to dream when the applause is loud. But it is in the quiet preparation, when no one sees, when no one praises, when no one cares that the foundation is poured. The Roman Empire did not rise at sunrise. The Great Pyramids were not laid stone by stone in the middle of crowds. No greatness is birthed in obscurity, in the silence of relentless, intentional preparation. And so it must be with you. Your dreams your deepest, fiercest visions are not waiting for the perfect morning. They are waiting for the courageous night. They are waiting for you to say, I will not drift into tomorrow. I will not gamble my future on randomness. I will decide tonight who I will be. Most people say, I'll figure it out tomorrow. But those who rise to greatness say, tomorrow is already figured out tonight. You must understand life does not respond to your hopes. Life responds to your preparation. The farmer does not beg the fields for a harvest. He prepares the soil, plants the seeds, waters the earth day after day, night after night until the harvest is inevitable. You cannot skip this process. You cannot shortcut the laws of life. If you sow preparation, you will reap confidence. If you sow clarity, you will reap momentum. If you sow discipline in the dark, you will shine in the light. But if you sow nothing, you will reap nothing. Voiceover leans in passionate, unwavering. So, tonight, not next week, not someday, but tonight you face a decision. You can squander these precious hours. You can waste them in shallow distractions, forgettable entertainment, mindless noise. Or you can honor them. You can weaponize them. You can make tonight a sacred altar where your future is forged. Prepare your plan. Prepare your heart. Prepare your mind for the battles you will face. Because battles are coming whether you are ready or not. Storms will rise whether you planned or not. And the victors are not the strongest. They are the most prepared. When you wake unprepared, the day owns you. When you prepare the night before, you own the day. And owning the day consistently, methodically, fiercely is how you come to own your life. It will not be easy. Preparation is work that feels invisible. Preparation is the quiet labor with no immediate reward. Preparation is carrying the bricks before the world sees the cathedral. But hear me. Every minute you prepare when others are distracted, you separate yourself. You build an advantage that cannot be seen today but will be undeniable tomorrow. Ford did not create an empire by waking up whenever he felt like it. Carnegie did not rise from poverty to power by hoping his days would somehow organize themselves. No, they prepared. They planned. They anticipated. While others slept, they schemed. While others drifted, they mapped the road ahead. And when the storms came, They did not panic. They had already prepared their sails the night before. You must understand something few are willing to accept. The night before is your edge. The night before is your secret weapon. The night before is your act of rebellion against an ordinary life. Ordinary people waste their evenings. Extraordinary people weaponize them. The average will always tell you, relax. It doesn't matter. The undisciplined will always say, it can wait. But the winners, the world changers, the dream builders, the destiny forgers, they know. It matters more than almost anything. Because the night before is the forge. The forge where weak intentions are burned away. Where strong commitments are hammered into unbreakable chains. Where tomorrow's strength is forged in tonight's fire. And so I ask you again, not as a suggestion, not as a casual musing, but as a direct call to your highest self. How will you spend your night? Will you drift? Or will you design? Will you kill time? Or will you craft time? Will you let the night slip through your fingers like water? Or will you gather it in your hands and shape it into your future? Because one day soon, you will either celebrate or regret the way you spent your nights. And make no mistake, the life you live 5 years from now will be shaped not by what you did once in a while, but by what you did every night. When the world wasn't watching, when no one would have blamed you for settling, when it would have been so easy to say, tomorrow I'll be better. But you are not here for easy. You are not here for average. You are not here to drift into a life you resent. You are here for greatness. You are here to prepare. You are here to build. Because greatness demands a price. And the price is paid not once, but nightly, in the discipline of preparation, in the sacrifice of comfort, in the silence of unseen effort. Discipline is not a punishment. It is a passport. It is the ticket that few are willing to purchase, but every dream requires at the gate. You see, the weak whisper to themselves, maybe tomorrow. The strong declare to themselves, tonight, I prepare. There is no shortcut. There is no backdoor into excellence. There is only this narrow, sacred path that demands you lead yourself before you ever hope to lead others. Discipline is the muscle that grows when you choose preparation over procrastination. And like any muscle, it aches at first. It feels unnatural. It feels heavy. But if you carry it, if you press through, when it would be easier to retreat, it will one day feel like flight. Because discipline becomes identity. At first, you fight for every inch. Then, one night, without warning, you realize you no longer wrestle to prepare. You prepare because it is who you are. And once discipline is woven into your identity, everything changes. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop praying for the perfect time. You stop negotiating with laziness. You rise not because you have to, but because you can. Because preparation is no longer something you do. Preparation is something you are. And with that identity, clarity emerges. Clarity is the byproduct of discipline. The undisciplined live foggy lives, bouncing from crisis to crisis, excuse to excuse. But the disciplined live with sharpness, precision. Each night, they carve the stone of tomorrow. Each night, they lay a brick in the mansion of their future. While others build their lives in sand, the prepared build in granite. And clarity, once found, is a weapon. When you are clear, you move faster. You choose better. You waste less. You stop asking, what should I do? And start declaring, this is who I am. When you are clear, you are dangerous. Dangerous to doubt. Dangerous to excuses. Dangerous to the small thinking that has infected to many. Clarity is not given. It is earned. Earned by the one who honors their night with deliberate thought. Earned by the one who stares into the mirror of their own mind and does not flinch. Earned by the one who demands alignment between their actions and their aspirations. And with clarity comes action. Real, relentless. unstoppable action. Not the frantic action of the desperate, not the scattered action of the unsure, but the surgical action of the prepared. You see, preparation demands you know what matters and that you move toward it without hesitation. And when you prepare the night before, your mornings are not filled with anxiety. Your days are not hijacked by distractions. You step into your hours like a general into battle. Plans drawn, armor fitted, mind sharp, spirit steady. The unprepared will always be victims of the day. The prepared are conquerors of the day. They do not react. They act. They do not scramble. They execute. They do not wonder. They win. And every action you take, every decision you make, either builds the fortress of your dreams or digs the grave of your potential. There is no neutral ground. Each evening, you must ask yourself, did I prepare to build or did I prepare to bury? Because if you prepare for nothing, you are preparing for regret. Regret. Regret is the price paid by those who refuse to prepare. It is the haunting tax on wasted nights and squandered mornings. It is the voice in the back of the mind whispering, you could have, you should have, but you didn't. And the tragedy is not that you failed. The tragedy is that you forfeited without ever stepping fully onto the field. Preparation is not a guarantee you will win every battle, but lack of preparation is a guarantee you will lose battles you were born to win. Resilience is built in the preparation. Resilience is not the absence of failure, it is the muscle grown through thousands of quiet, nightly promises kept. Every night you prepare, you are telling yourself, I will not quit. I will not drift. I will not hand my destiny to chance. You are building a spine of steel, a mind of focus, a soul of fire. You are preparing yourself to face the storms that would break the unready, to endure the winters that would crush the uncommitted. Because adversity is coming. The winds of doubt are coming. The temptation to surrender is coming. But the prepared, they do not crumble. They do not flee. They rise. And they rise not because they are superhuman. They rise because they prepared when it was easy to relax. They chose the harder road when no one demanded it. They earned their resilience in the silence of the night before. So, when the world says, you cannot, they whisper back, I already have, already planned, already fortified, already ready. Success belongs to those who prepare the night before, not the talented, not the lucky, not the charming, the prepared. And preparation. Preparation births vision, not vague wishes, not soft hopes, but clear, burning vision, the kind that cannot be extinguished by delay or doubt. Because when you prepare the night before, you remind yourself of the life you are building. You align your soul with your future. You stop living as a prisoner of circumstance and rise as the architect of destiny. Vision is the blueprint the unprepared never see. They live by accident. They drift by default. But you will live by design. The builders of empires, the founders of movements, the architects of revolutions, they were not men and women of luck. They were men and women of vision, forged in nights of clarity, born in evenings of intention. Henry Ford envisioned a car in every driveway when horses filled every street. Wright brothers saw wings cutting through the sky while the world mocked gravity. Lincoln saw a nation united when blood still stained the earth. Disney saw kingdoms of imagination rising from swampland nobody wanted. Where others saw obstacles, they saw openings. Where others saw endings, they saw beginnings. Vision is not granted by fate. Vision is summoned through preparation. Because it is in the night when the world sleeps and the noise fades that your truest dreams speak. But you must be still enough to hear them, and strong enough to answer them. Every night, you have a choice: to bury your dreams under distractions, or to breathe life into them with intention. The night before is not a time to escape reality, it is the time to create it. So prepare not just your tasks, but your imagination. Prepare not just your schedule, But your spirit? Prepare not just for survival, but for significance. And vision without purpose is a ship without a rudder. Purpose is what anchors you when the storms come. Purpose is what drives you when comfort whispers to quit. Purpose is the deep, burning reason behind every prepared night, every early morning, every hard decision. Purpose makes pain tolerable. Purpose makes sacrifice meaningful. Purpose makes ordinary days extraordinary. When you prepare the night before, you are not just setting tasks, you are reaffirming your purpose. You are reminding yourself why you started, why you must continue, why you cannot afford to drift. If your purpose is weak, your discipline will crumble. If your purpose is shallow, your preparation will fade. But when your purpose is anchored deep, when it grips your bones, you will prepare even when you are tired, even when you are doubted, even when the world offers you easier paths. Because the cost of abandoning your purpose is far greater than the price of preparation. And in the stillness of preparation, there is another power few recognize: gratitude. Gratitude not for what you have achieved, but for the opportunity to pursue. Gratitude not just for your victories, but for the chance to fight. You see, preparation is an act of gratitude. Gratitude that you have a body that can rise, a mind that can think, a heart that can still beat for something bigger. Every time you plan your day the night before, you are saying to the universe, I am ready. I am willing. I am thankful for the gift of another chance. The average wastes their nights because they take tomorrow for granted. The extraordinary prepare because they understand tomorrow is never promised. Gratitude sharpens your vision. Gratitude strengthens your discipline. Gratitude turns even the hardest nights of preparation into sacred rituals of becoming. And in that gratitude, something remarkable happens. You stop chasing success, and you start embodying it. You stop begging life for scraps, and you start commanding your destiny. Because when preparation, vision, purpose, and gratitude converge, you don't just live better days. You build a legacy. Legacy is not about fame. Legacy is not about fortune. Legacy is about leaving behind undeniable proof that you showed up, that you lived awake, that you did not drift through your years, but you carved meaning into them. And legacy is built night after night, not by chance, not by convenience, but by preparation. The world will remember those who prepared when it was hard, those who stood in the quiet of evening and declared, I will not waste this life. Those who built their dreams one disciplined, defiant, deliberate night at a time. Because success does not belong to the popular. Success does not belong to the privileged. Success does not belong to the lucky. Success belongs to the prepared. And preparation belongs to those who understand that every night holds a choice. Will you let the night steal your future? Or will you seize it and forge something eternal? Tonight, not tomorrow. Tonight you decide. Will you be a builder? Or a bystander? Will you be an architect? Or an accident? Will you prepare? Or will you perish in mediocrity? Success belongs to those who prepare the night before. It always has. It always will. And now, it belongs to you.